منزل ومزرعة في مقاطعة فيرفاكس على نهر بوتوماك في ولاية فرجينيا الأمريكية. ماونت فيرنون مكان غير تقليدي، وما يجعله كذلك هو أنه منزل الرئيس الأول. جورج واشنطن الرئيس الأول للولايات المتحدة وأحد آبائها المؤسسين، في قصته أحداث حافلة، حياة عسكرية وحروب طاحنة، ثورات وتنافس سياسي، انتهاء بقيادة البلاد إلى الوحدة. ماونت فيرنون كان منزل جورج واشنطن. يمتد المنزل على مساحة 11,000 قدم مربع، ويتكون من طابقين بهما 21 غرفة. خلفه ساحة كبرى تطل على النهر، وحوله مساحة واسعة من أراضٍ خضراء بها عدد كبير من الأشجار، من بينها شجرة أرز زرعت هنا في القرن ال19. المنزل به عدد من الملحقات مثل مطحنة القمح هذه التي تعمل بتأثير المياه، وغرفة للحدادة وورش أخرى. دوغ برادبيرن هو رئيس الجمعية التي تشرف على إدارة هذا المنزل الآن.
Well, so Mount Vernon was a place in his family when he was a baby. It wasn't called Mount Vernon at the time. It was called Little Hunting Creek Plantation. And it was a small estate of his father. And he would have been here, as a very young boy. He was, it would have been the kind of place that was really brand new and just getting started. It wasn't built, main house wasn't built until he was about 4 or 5 years old.
ورث واشنطن المنزل بشكل كامل بعد وفاة شقيقه لورنس، وتزوج مارتا كوستس عام 1759 وعاش الزوجان هنا.
First thing he did was make it a little more fancy on the inside because he married Martha Washington. And she was used to living in a much nicer type home. And so he redid the interior so that it was a little more high style for her. But then he also expanded it. He built a full cellar of the house. He raised another floor of the house. And that lasted for about 10 years or so. And then he decided he wanted more space, and then he built 2 wings on the house. And those were started at the beginning of the American Revolutionary War. And he would continue to send instructions back to Mount Vernon, throughout that war to finish these rooms, which really weren't finished until the 1780s. And when he comes back in the 1780s, he puts this beautiful piazza on the back of the house, this porch, and he puts a cupola on top of the mansion to give it a little more verticality. And so he'd been tinkering with this house all along throughout his life, but he's kind of complete with that by the 1780s. By the time he becomes president of the United States, the house is in the shape he wants.
اختير واشنطن رئيساً للولايات المتحدة عام 1789، ورغم أنه كان يقيم في فيلادلفيا التي كانت عاصمة للبلاد آنذاك، إلا أن علاقته بمنزله في ماونت فيرنون لم تنقطع.
He'd come here when Congress wasn't in session, and he would do his presidential duties from Mount Vernon. In his study, he would have a correspondence with all the officers of state. And in fact, many of them came here to visit him, including Thomas Jefferson, famously, who was the Secretary of State.
وبعد انتهاء ولايته عام 1797 عاد واشنطن إلى ماونت فيرنون ليقضي فيه آخر أيام حياته.
One of the things he begins in the last years of his life is he starts distilling spirits. So he creates a rye whiskey here, which had a great market in Alexandria, and that's something that he just did in the last years of his life. So he was kind of always sort of innovating in his business practices and trying to find ways to make money.
توفي واشنطن في هذه الغرفة في 18 من ديسمبر عام 1799، ودفن هنا في ماونت فيرنون. وفي يوم الرئيس من كل عام لا يزال الأمريكيون يأتون إلى ماونت فيرنون إحياء لذكرى الرئيس الأول.